Are major analytical platforms completely blind, or are they deliberately trying to disrespect one of the most exciting young quarterbacks in the entire National Football League? A newly released ranking of the league's signal callers has ignited a massive firestorm, placing a certain sophomore sensation far lower than his actual tape suggests. If you think the experts are losing their minds with these evaluations, you are definitely not alone. Before we tear into these numbers and break down why the film proves the data guys are completely wrong, do me a massive favor, hit that like button, share this video with your fellow football fanatics, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another deep dive. How can a quarterback who just carried his squad to its first divisional round appearance in 15 long years get pushed down to the 13th spot? That is the exact question making waves across the football community today after a major football grading network published its official consensus rankings for the upcoming 2026 season. The analysts behind the list claim they set out to answer one simple riddle: which quarterback would you want leading your franchise into this exact season? Now, that sounds like a fair, subjective question based on who can actually win you football games right now. But the second they explained their math, the whole argument fell apart. They admitted their foundation relies strictly on 3 consecutive seasons of passing grades, wins above replacement, and expected points added per dropback. Does it make any sense to judge a group of young, rising stars on 3 years of analytical data when some of them haven't even been in the league that long? That is where this system completely loses its logic. It totally blurs the line between hard, historic spreadsheet numbers and actual, forward-looking projection. Because of that heavy historical skew, you see veteran gunslingers like Matthew Stafford clinging to the number 5 spot, sitting directly behind a top 4 of Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, and Josh Allen. But things get downright chaotic as you look further down the list. Jordan Love is ranked all the way up at number 6, sitting comfortably ahead of an elite talent like Justin Herbert. Dak Prescott, Drake May, and Brock Purdy somehow round out the top 10, followed immediately by Trevor Lawrence at number 11. But here is where the absolute disrespect reaches a boiling point, and it is time for our official question of the day. They ranked Jayden Daniels at number 12, placing him directly ahead of Caleb Williams at number 13. I want every single one of you to drop what you are doing and comment down below right now. Who is the better quarterback entering the 2026 season? Type CW for Caleb Williams or type JD for Jayden Daniels, and let me know exactly why in the comments. Let's really look at that specific battle because placing Daniels over Williams right now is a massive stretch. Sure, from a purely historical data perspective, if you are looking at their 2-year careers, Daniels had an absolute monster rookie campaign that tilts the metrics. But football is a what-have-you-done-for-me-lately business. When you look closely at the most recent 2025 season, the trajectory completely shifts. In 2025, Williams dominated almost every single meaningful category. While Daniels held a microscopic edge in completion percentage, his overall efficiency took a massive step backward. Williams held a gigantic advantage in passing yards per game, yards per attempt, and overall touchdown-to-interception ratio. Even if you look at the raw quarterback rating or break it down on a per-game basis, the advantage clearly swings toward the young star in Chicago. The contrast gets even more stark when you dig into the aggressive nature of their respective play styles from last season. Williams averaged 7.3 air yards per attempt, showing a relentless willingness to push the ball vertically downfield, while Daniels checked in at a much more conservative 6.8 air yards. Then there's the massive issue of basic structural preservation. Williams completely revolutionized his game, showing incredible growth under head coach Ben Johnson, which allowed his sack rate to plummet to a microscopic 4.05%. Meanwhile, Daniels was constantly under duress, holding onto the ball and digesting a brutal sack rate of nearly 9%. When you look at expected points added per dropback, Williams delivered a highly positive 0.0-7, while Daniels dipped into negative territory at -0.0-1. Now, to be completely fair and accurate, Daniels does hold the advantage in bad throw rate, sitting at 15% compared to Williams, who still suffers from some wild misses that pushed his bad throw rate past 20%. Williams is still a bit of a high-wire gunslinger, which is why some rigid analytical formulas tend to penalize him. But look at what he does with those aggressive attempts. He recorded 37 big-time throws last year, a number that ranks second in the entire NFL, trailing only the league MVP. The crazy part is that he hunts those massive, explosive plays downfield without turning the football over at a dangerous rate, throwing only 13 interceptions across his first 2 seasons in the league. The quiet storyline that nobody seems to want to address is that Daniels quietly had a very rough sophomore year. People love to look at the fact that he was banged up and only played in 7 games as an automatic excuse. But availability and durability are massive parts of being a franchise quarterback. When he was on the field last year, the production simply wasn't elite, and his team completely fell apart after September. On the flip side, we watched Williams completely erase the negative plays that plagued his rookie year. Under Ben Johnson's guidance, his structural discipline skyrocketed. His sack rate fell from a catastrophic 11% all the way down to just 4%. With another full off-season of coaching hammering home the importance of taking the easy completions, that completion percentage is bound to take another leap into the mid-60s. Ranking him 10th in the league feels entirely proper, but keeping him down at 13 behind guys like Lawrence, Love, and Daniels just feels like a lazy reliance on old data. The analytical confusion doesn't stop at the quarterback position either, because elite national sports networks are also rolling out their comprehensive position rankings based on extensive surveys of league executives, coaches, and scouts. This is a much more cut-and-dry evaluation because it asks over 70 Football Insiders one simple thing: who are the best players in the league right now? Looking at the running back landscape, Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs have firmly separated themselves as the golden standard at the top of the league, followed by Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, and Jonathan Taylor to round out the top 5. Derrick Henry, James Cook, Devin Achane, Kenneth Walker, and Breece Hall fill out the rest of the elite top 10, while major names like Josh Jacobs and Kyren Williams just miss the cut. But right outside that top tier sits DeAndre Swift, who effectively ranks as the 14th best running back in football after receiving a massive wave of votes from league evaluators. That is a noticeable jump from where he sat a year ago, and it is a direct reward for the career year he produced in 2025. Swift ran with incredible vision and burst last season, averaging nearly 5 yards per carry and easily eclipsing the 1,000-yard rushing mark, while maintaining his status as a legitimate weapon out of the backfield. He proved he can be the dynamic primary piece of a highly productive 1-2 punch alongside Kyle Manangai. The real question moving forward is whether this upcoming season will be his grand finale in his current uniform, considering he is entering the final year of his current 3-year contract. If the front office decides to hunt for a massive superstar name in free agency or look hard at the upcoming draft class, this could easily be his final ride. What do you think the future holds for this backfield? Let me know your predictions down below, and keep your eyes locked right here as we continue to track every major storyline as training camps draw closer.